Peace. It's your boy Killer B, the goddamn Witchfinder General. You got a witch, I'll burn their goddamn asses up. And that's what I'm known for doing. I am the soldier of darkness. I repeat, I'm the soldier of darkness for the Hebrew Israelite cult. So run, hide under your bed, hide under the couch. Do whatever you gotta do. But still, the Witchfinder always finds his man. Always, every goddamn time. What's happening, Lil? What's happening, Myron? Thank y'all for coming in here. I know I'm a little early. Well, I'm late. I'm early and late at the same time and shit. You know how niggas is and stuff. So we gonna get it on in today. God damn, these niggas just keep fucking up, man. And they keep trying to find a way out. Y'all saw my last video? The damn Hebrew Israelites killed Martin Luther King Jr.'s mother. And Atlanta had the nerve to say, the city of Atlanta loves that family, but today, Atlanta, Georgia is one of the top hubs for the Black Hebrew Israelite cult. They're one of the biggest, one of the biggest cities that, how do I put this? There's more Hebrew Israelites in Atlanta, Georgia, and just about every other major city here in America. Atlanta, Georgia is the capital probably right now for Black Hebrew Israelites. And they killed Martin Luther King Jr.'s mother, assassinated. Marcus Chestnut. Y'all saw the video I did last time, and I'm going to be doing another video tonight where I'm going to go into who he learned the Hebrew Israelite doctrine from. His name is Hananiah Israel, and we're going to dig into some of Hananiah Israel fucking thoughts and stuff tonight. But today, right now, we're going to get on Rabbi Wentworth's ass. Yup. Getting on his ass tonight. Or today, this afternoon, however you want to put it. I know I'm hyped up. So, let's get right into this joint here. We are going to go over some hidden transcripts. We're going to go over some hidden details of what was going on in One West. And, I'm going to keep it funky. I always keep it 100 with y'all. I kind of stayed away from messing with Wentworth and stuff because I was like, you know what? That man might have was kind of sincere about what he was trying to do. And I didn't really look at it as him starting a cult, but just wanting people to pick up the Jewish faith, right? To help better the Black community's lives, right? And the white Jews didn't want to recognize him. They didn't want to ordain him, however they put it, as a rabbi, right? So I was like, I can kind of leave him alone. I would say like when Abba Bivens started, that's when a lot of the bullshit happened. But we know these other founders like Cherry, Crowley, Ford, all of them were a bunch of nutcases. See, the Most High put a demon on that brother. Yes, he put a demon on. But see, the Most High is choking him, because he's wicked. He's wicked, The Most High is choking him. Hold on. So we're gonna look into some very disturbing shit. I ain't got too much time today, but we're gonna whiz right on through this, yo. We can get down to the nitty gritty and stuff. I don't think I'm gonna release my source. I'm not gonna release my source on this one. I'm not gonna release my source on this one. I work too hard. And y'all witch finders need to be stepping y'all game up and fucking these people up and shit. You saw my post. Please do it, Lil. Please do. And I posted on Facebook, and Facebook was about to self-destruct. All these they flagged it too, yo. Because they flagged it because I said I wanted to rid the earth of Hebrew Israelites and stuff. So they flagged my shit. But it's gonna be back up after 2 days. It's gonna be back up. But y'all can check it out here on my channel. But it's disturbing. The things I just had a guy on the guy that hacked the white family up with the machete in November. I posted that. You know what one of the Hebrew Israelites said? Let me read it to you. Let me read it to you. Right here. Disturbing. And this proves me right. They said, you don't know, it's a Hebrew Israelite. But, you know, the Hebrew Israelites came right out here and made me a truth teller. I'll read it right now. Hold on. Popping up. He says, Masha Yasha Allah. He says he can get the sword with the heathen too. Right? Then he goes on to quote Isaiah 13:9-16. Like a true Hebrew Israelite coat flunking. Like, you know, like with 15, when it says, everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. Their children also shall be dashed in pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled. And guess what, y'all? Check out this one. Their wives ravished. You're going to ravish the women? That's what you plan on doing? That's what all the Hebrew Israelites really made for. They want to ravish all the women. They want to ravish all the damn women. Right? So, shout out to Sister Diamond, too, because we had some words earlier. I invited her to come on. I dropped the link. It don't look like she looked at it yet. But share this thing here around. Get this thing in here. Check out something. Hold on one second. I'll share this a couple times. Share on Facebook right now. Things got me jacked up. But we can get on into this. Let me drop the link in here so some of y'all can come on here with me. Don't get mad at me. Just prove me wrong, nigga. That's all you gotta do is prove me wrong. Shit. What you mad at me for, nigga? Yehuda Israel. What you mad at me for? What you mad at me for? That's your cult leader. You notice none of the cult leaders step up to the plate. It's only the flunkies that be talking all that hard shit. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, wait, y'all come out here and talk to me. Tell me how much of a liar I am. Yeah, that's right. They go to the link. Y'all can come on in here. What up, Shamiyan? What up, Shamiyan? I'm whipping on their asses again this afternoon. Whipping on their asses again. But I ain't got too much time, so I got to hurry the fuck up. Get this thing done. Oh, shit. I ain't got really too much time at all. But you know what? I'm going to release it. I'm going to let y'all see my source. I'm going to let y'all see. Hey, hold on. Get right into this. Well, I won't show my source. I'll show what I'm reading. If y'all can figure it out on your own, that's on y'all. Y'all get all the props. But I ain't gonna show y'all shit where I got it. I work too hard. Y'all niggas can find this shit too. It's like all my supporters, you know, y'all can just hit me up on personal shit. And then we get into it. No, I'll show it. The hell with y'all niggas and shit. I'll show it. All right. All right. There we go. Boom. Slalom? We doing slalom now, Shamiyan? That's what we doing? All right. I saw you disappear with my own eyes. Hidden transcripts of New York Black Israelites, bricolage. That's how you pronounce that. That means like a nigga just taking shit from any old fucking place he can get it, try to put something together, right? Today, scholars have tended to view Black Israelites as mercenary, derivative, or imitative. However, this micro-historical reading of the public, partial, and hidden transcripts of the New York Rabbi Wentworth Arthur Matthew beliefs and ritual practices demonstrates that Black Israelites did not simply imitate Jews, but rather they were Reiklers who constructed a polycultural religion that creatively rework threads from religious faiths, secret societies, and magical grimoires. Y'all see that? Now, shout out to the brothers SOT, old school, real old. They was one of the first people to kind of lead the truth. Lead the truth, and it kind of exposed the things that was going on in there, right? I have to share that with you. Hold on. Here we go. I have to share this with you. Because there was one of the ones exposed the witchcraft that was going on in there, right? Oh, I put the wrong goddamn thing up in here. Hold on. Witchcraft that was going on in there, right? Oh, I put the wrong goddamn thing up in here. Hold on. Witchcraft that was going on in there. Have to get this in here. Brother, this proves they wasn't lying. These brothers brought this out years ago, but this just proves that they wasn't lying. So let me get on into this thing, read this thing. Really, we got about 45 minutes to wreck it right now. Right? Shit. No. Here we go. Black Israelite religious identity was imagined and performed in sidewalk lectures in Marcus Garvey's Liberty Hall. It was embodied through Caribbean pageants and acted out in parades. Black Israelism was lived through secret spiritualist and Kabbalistic rituals and taught openly through Sunday schools and Masonic affiliates. Finally, it was an identity that was formed and performed in a mixture of sanctified and Judaic rites. Print culture, performance, complex social networks were all important in the imagination and realization of this new Israelite religious identity. Recognizing the subversive quality of this bricolage and the complexity of its partial and hidden transcripts belies attempts to exclude esoteric African-American new religious movements from the categories of protest religion and Black religion. When one combines the study of Black Israelism with similar studies of African-American MRMs of the 1920s, it is possible to appreciate a remarkable wave of overlapping esoteric creativity that accompanied the much more famous artistic creativity of the Harlem Renaissance, right? One evening after Friday night service had concluded, Rabbi Wentworth Arthur Matthew, head of the Ethiopian Hebrew Commandment Keepers Synagogue in Harlem, just to let y'all know real quick, before it was the Commandment Keepers, it was the Ethiopian Order of the Ethiopian Masonic Lodge, I believe it was called, but it was a Masonic Lodge before it was the Commandment Keepers Synagogue, right? Let's get that out there. Turned to the dozen worshipers in the audience and began speaking on a familiar theme of what? Of what? His magical abilities. His magical abilities. All right? You're teaching Kabbalah. Teaching Kabbalah. You a devil, you believe all witchcraft. I'm not watching you killing Pete. You got videos on witchcraft. What's your daddy doing? What's the daddy of your religion doing? Turning to Brother William, Matthew asked for a witness that he had made himself, what? Invisible. With a wave of the hand. Check this out. Brother William said, yes, you did. Yes, you did, sir. I saw you disappear with my own eyes. Immediately, the rest of the worshipers, all women, rose from their seats and shouted ecstatically, hallelujah! The Lord loves our teaching. Let us sing Adon Olam. The rabbi roared. Let us sing so that all of and all are enemies will know that we are the chosen sons and daughters of Jehovah. Say what? All these motherfuckers is nuts. I keep telling y'all, all these people are nuts. Talking about nigga, nigga gonna disappear and shit. A nigga gonna disappear. Man, if y'all don't sit y'all behinds down, but Hebrew Bible Hebrew Study Hall 11, right? All camps are Masonic. I always said, right? But you take your doctrine. If you're a Hebrew Israelite, I don't want to be false witness on you. But if you're a Hebrew Israelite, guess what? Guess what? You fall right in line with them because your whole doctrine comes from them. You guilty by association. I'm just saying, if you're a Hebrew Israelite, I'm not sure. So I don't want to quote you wrong and shit. But let me get back to reading this shit. What y'all gonna do now? And at my 3 days, this will be on Facebook. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. Matthew was an escape artist. Not only could he become invisible, but for many years, the Black Hebrew Israelites whom he led escaped the study of scholars or repelled their efforts to understand the movement. There have been numerous newspaper articles and a few scholarly studies over the years, but for the most part, people either dismissed them entirely or watched them disappear with their own eyes. Black Judaism successfully hid both its origins in Pentecostal churches and its secret knowledge drawn from Freemasonry, Jewish Kabbalah, and African American. One little understood form of African American storefront religion during the Great Migration, the movement of Black Southerners to northern cities in the first half of the 20th century. Black Israelites, also called Black Hebrews or Black Jews, are African Americans who believe that they are descendants from the ancient Hebrews and who practice religions that use some elements of Judaism. Metaphoric identification with the children of Israel in the Exodus narrative has long been an acknowledged feature of African American Christianity in the 19th century. However, from their origins in the 1890s into the present, Black Israelites have moved from metaphoric identification to literal identification. They move from metaphoric identification to what? Literal identification as the people of the book. See? Went from metaphorical to literal. There were many sects of Black Jews during the 1920s from the South to Chicago and Harlem. And many of these had more members than Matthew's Ethiopian Hebrews or gained more wealth and notoriety. But Matthew practiced a religion that preached descent from the ancient Israelites while pioneering the incorporation of Jewish ritual, Hebrew language, and kosher culinary practices. While there are more than a dozen brief studies and 2 books on New York's Black Israelites, most previous accounts of the movement give an incomplete and sometimes inaccurate description of the movement's origins and beliefs. To date, scholars have tended to view Black these booger bears right there. But oh shit. Put it up, sorry. Uh-oh. Okay. Israelite leaders are wait, am I reading the right spot? Yeah, I guess so. All right. Israelite leaders as mercenary, derivative, and imitative, as with many accounts of new religious movements, some observers have portrayed them as hucksters who prey on the praying followers. Other observers have suggested that Black Israelites either imitated Jews who were descended from Jews in Africa or the Americas. However, with closer analysis of the existing evidence, as well as the acquisition of a small collection of vital Black Israelite records by the Stromberg Center in the New York Public Library, we can see that Black Israelites did not simply imitate Jews, but were Breitlers who constructed a polycultural religion that creatively rework threads from religious faiths, secret societies, and magical grimoires. This microhistory of the development of Rabbi Matthew's theology revealed how the Jewish ritual that he presented to the world was undergirded by holiness, Pentecostal Christianity, and magical practices borrowed from popular esoteric sources. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. But was he an Israelite? You said John Horse. I'm going to look that up. John Horse. I never heard that name. I'm going to look that up, homie. 1830. I will look that up, right? He said he was an Israelite, but was the nigga an Israelite? Oh, he thought he was an Israelite, or he pretended to be a Hebrew Israelite. Because no one could prove the Israelites existed. Nobody. There are no archaeological evidence of any Israelites walking this earth. Shit, the Jewish people don't even believe that they're the fucking Israelites. They know that shit's mythology. They got enough sense to know that. But do black people got enough sense to know that? Hell no. Because we follow behind motherfuckers like this. Talking about I disappeared in the blink of an eye, fucking with the wave of my hand. Then people fall right in line. People fall right in line. Right? So let me go on. The link's in chat. If you want to come on, we can talk about this. No problem. I ain't got too much time, but I'll speak to you for a little bit. This is for a comprehensive list of Matthew's inspiration and sources. A fuller treatment would have to include Freemasonry, spiritualism, Black nationalism, African-American version of Orientalism. Yet when one combines the study of Rabbi Matthew's Black Israelism with familiar studies of Black Israelism, Black Islam, Rastafarianism, Father Divine, Peace Mission Movement, and various new thought-based Black religious operatives in the 1920s, it's possible to appreciate a remarkable wave of overlapping esoteric religious creativity that accompanied the much more famous artistic creativity of Harlem Renaissance. These are religions of subversive broccolage and the creation of remarkably sophisticated, not savage minds. Understanding Rabbi Wentworth Arthur Matthew, who died as chief rabbi of the Ethiopian Hebrews of the Western world, is made more difficult because of the complexity of what James Scott called the public, partial, and hidden transcripts. His rhetoric when whites were present was different than when his audience was exclusively African American, just like the Hebrew Israelites today, and different again when his audience were all Black Israelites. One of the items he taught is that his religious school was speech in front of One of the items he taught at his religious school was speech in front of mixed congregations. Similarly, what he told a Black newspaper was different than what was different than what he would have said to a white newspaper. We not terrorists. We don't hate anyone. We just follow the Most High. But at the school, at the camp, at the Israelites church school, synagogue, temple, whatever you want to call it, right? The Edomite gotta go. IUIC said we don't hate nobody and all that bullshit, right? But at Sabbath class, they used to say, bring out the prisoner, right? And there'd be a picture of the white Jesus and shit with chains on and and behind bars. They say, bring out the prisoner. So it's just like Black people talk today. White people do it too. Y'all might be home, man, these fucking niggers and shit. Or we might be these goddamn crackers and shit, but we on the job and shit. Be like, yeah, man, what's going on? What's going on, Jimmy? Yeah, right on. Got some cool Christmas socks you got there, buddy. But behind closed doors, you saying something else. Fuck Jimmy, that goddamn cracker. That's what's going on, right? Like I said, it happens on both sides, right? Now, Toward the end of his life, frustrated at what he perceived as injustices dealt him by reporters and scholars, he refused to make statements to outsiders at all. Know why? Know why? Just like Judah Nazareth, right? When he can talk that shit amongst his followers, right? This how we got Judah Nazareth ain't coming out with that Temple Man bullshit no more. Why? Because it's out. People know better. So if he open his mouth about it, we got a motherfucker like Killer P. This shit right here breaking that shit all down. It's the same thing. He's not going to say nothing to people with sense. He's not going to say nothing to people that aren't brainwashed. That shit is only for the brainwashed. Because the outsider is going to be like, man, that's some bullshit. You got that from this right here. You got that from this person right here. And that ideology, you stole that from this over here. And that's going to get out to the followers and it'll fuck this congregation up. Y'all feel me? The Most High put a demon on that. I can take him off the air. My bad, y'all. I closed the window by accident. All right, let me get my source back up here. Oh shit! I'm gonna find the shit back. Okay. Hold on, give me 1 second. See, the Most High don't want him to open his mouth. Huh? The Most High shut him out. Huh? He'll shut him up. Yeah, fuck the hell that nigga. He's a demon. You heard him say he's a soldier of darkness, didn't you? All right. Where was I? All right. We can skip over that shit because I ain't got too much time. Let me check out the chat real quick. Oh shit! I almost closed this motherfucker up again. All right. COGIC Israelites, untie my bow tie. My mama had a untie my bow tie. My mama had a Honda. What? Okay, you gotta help me understand that one. Oh, you read this about 3 years ago? This is my first time reading it. Bro. For real. I just found it. This like about an hour ago. It screwed me up. I was like, oh my God, this is what SOT was talking about. But when Rabbi Matthew died, December 3rd, 1972, his death certificate matched the story he had told as far back as 1937, when he had been born in Lagos, Nigeria on the 23rd of June, 1822, to a Falasha father and a West Indian mother. However, government documents hidden from public view tell a very different story. Right? 1918, 1920, and even in late 1969, when he applied for Social Security number, Matthew reported that he was born on the 23rd of June, 1892, in St. Kitts in the British West Indies, and immigrated to New York in the 1930s. 1913, I'm sorry. Community leader Rabbi Hilu Moshe Parrish reported that members were upset to discover that Matthew was not born in Africa. Later, when he passed on, a lot of people did not like that he was from St. Kitts, Parrish related. Matthew's parents, Francis Cornelius and Joseph Matthew, raised him as a Methodist. Right? Not Falasha, raised him as a Methodist. and he later belonged to a Jesus-only Pentecostal church. He later described a deep religious faith that was a part of a daily life in the Caribbean, writing that the people of the islands were among the most enlightened biblically, and in accordance to biblical prohibitions, would not eat animals that had died of strangulation or drowning. For Matthew, as far as many working class Protestants in the 19th and early 20th centuries, the Bible not only was a holy document to be read by religious authority on Sunday, but was part of the fabric of daily life, a mystical roadmap that promised to guide one through the past, right? I'm going to skip through this a little bit. Matthew, Caribbean childhood provided first to many performative context through the biblical identities came to be embodied, commenting on a passage from the book of Exodus. Matthew once wrote, here I am reminded of the patriarchal plays at Christmas time, also of David and Goliath in the children of Israel, by which the people of the islands were reminded from year to year that they were the children of the house of Israel. In the story of Joseph in Egypt, Solomon and Sheba, strictly biblical, are vividly portrayed the same people in America who are Negroes, and in most part of the British domain are known as darkies. Right? The way in which Matthew referred to were a feature of Christian celebrations in Nevis and St. Kitts, when roving bands of a dozen or more actors would act out various themes to the accompaniment of several types of music. The celebrations were polycultural, popular, and riotously impure. Topics ran the gamut of popular culture, from the Bible to Hollywood movies, and had titles such as Children of Israel, Clowns, Indians and Cowboys, Cakewalk, The Japanese Girls, Samson and Delilah, Julius Caesar, Tarzan and the Apes. Matthew referred to two of these plays in particular that transmitted the knowledge of Afro-Israelite identity: David and Goliath and Children of Israel. These biblical stories were adapted from plays by Hannah More, an English writer in the late 18th and 19th centuries, and were notable for their overwrought language. The small boy was usually picked to play David, which made his feat of memorization all the more impressive, especially when he had to deliver convoluted lines such as, I bring of your age, sir, the gift of such plain plates and royal viands as suits his frugal fortune. No doubt the strangeness of Moore's turgid language must have added to the pleasure and the power of the enunciation for both performers and audience members. These Christmas time plays were, I'm sharing the thing for sure. These Christmas time plays were a local Nivian variant of Carnival masquerades, with democratically recombined the heterogeneous materials available to local people fishing the global cross currents of commerce and culture, currents which brought Hollywood movies and English poetry alike as flotsam in the transnational currents of culture. Hold on, let me change. See what I mean. But we got too much goddamn time. So, all right, hold on one second, y'all. Let me share the screen here. I'm gonna get to the juicy side. Let's get straight to it. I ain't got too much time. All right, I'll skip over this one right here. I don't know if I get some subscribers while I'm streaming now. I'll share the PDF. I'll share the PDF only if I get some subscribers out of this. So if you're viewing, you're not subscribed, subscribe. It'll pop up on my screen, and I will put the link for this literature here for you. So to get to right here. All right. Interaction with Jews in 1920. Even as blacks moved in and whites and Jews left central Harlem during the 1920s, Jews retained a small presence as shopkeepers, landlords, and residents in the area, bringing them to close proximity to expanding African-American community. As the number of Jews in Harlem fell, though Matthew increased the amount of Judaic ritual in his church and the importance of Jewishness in his faith, in 1923, he celebrated his first Passover. In 1929, his synagogue was receiving some financial aid from Jewish synagogues. But the white man, the devil, though, right? But the Jewish man is the devil that the Bible speaks of, right? You know, that ideology comes from a white supremacist group. It came exclusively from a white supremacist group, and it was stolen. And I repeat, it was stolen by the Black Hebrew Israelites. All right. So we see some financial aid from Jewish synagogues. In 1930, Matthew, still using the title bishop, celebrated Rosh Hashanah with 6 Jews of European origins among the 175 congregants. In that same year, the congregation purchased the Torah. So he was going around saying himself was bishop, right? Bishop, Christian. So he couldn't have been no Jew from Africa. He couldn't have been no Falasha Jew from Africa. What? Because he ain't from Africa. He was practicing Christianity before he came in. What made Matthew religion different from varieties of Black Israelism across the Memphis, New Orleans, Philadelphia, Chicago, Jamaica, South Africa, and even New York in later decades was the fact that he adopted the ritual forms of Judaism to augment his Black Israelite identity. The congregation retained a belief in the sanctity of Jesus, but began to incorporate elements of Jewish worship, including the use of Jewish prayers such as the Shema, and the observance of holidays such as Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. The newspaper story from 1929 entitled Negro Sect in Harlem mixes Jewish and Christian religions, describes how Matthew ate kosher meat, wore a skull cap and prayer shawl, and used some Hebrew. However, the congregation thought of Jesus either as a prophet of the rank of Moses or as divine, and the service itself resembled that of a sanctified church more than of a Jewish synagogue. As the 1920 progressed, Matthews and his followers sincerely came to believe themselves to be Jews, the physical and spiritual descendants of the ancient Israelites. Near the end of his life, looking back on this period during the rare conversation about his Christian past, he emphasized the individual nature of his religious odyssey. I got tired of Christianity, of going from church to church. He said, got the spirit, it wasn't right. Got the spirit, it wasn't right. Just found this by myself because I wanted Hebrew. Like I was reaching out and discovered this. Rabbi Matthew observance of the Jewish holidays combined Jewish ritual with rituals of different origins, including the magical use of oil and incense. Being from the Caribbean, you got Obey, you got voodoo, you got spiritismo, you got spiritualism, you got all these things. The use of incense and oils. You look at anything on witchcraft, you look at anything on voodoo, Palo, hoodoo, especially hoodoo, you're going to see magical oils and incense. Where you at, Siberius? Where you at? Where you at, homie? On Rosh Hashanah, each congregant receives a small bottle of oil. And they still doing this. They call it anointing you with oil, where they pour oil. When I was in it, they used to do that. Passover, certain Sabbaths and stuff like that. They'll pour oil on your head, calling yourself anointing you. Them niggas is putting fucking witchcraft on your monkey ass. On Rosh Hashanah, each congregant received a small bottle of oil. On Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur alike, The commandment keepers burn incense. Fill the bowl with oil and place 2 silver coins. Place 2 silver coins into the oil. On Passover, Matthew convened a community seder and feast and chose a beloved son of the year. I just said that. On the Passover, they pick somebody and they anoint them. And a nod to now we see that today in the ISUPK. On the Passover's General Yohana, he promotes all the people that's in the church. So if you're an officer, you might be raised to a captain. If you're a captain, you might be raised to a general. If you're a regular member, you might get raised to an officer. And you got officer over 100, officers over 500, officer over 1,000, right? And they anoint you with the oil. In a nod to this past in sanctified churches, Matthew also incorporated foot washing into the Passover ritual. He was actively, now IUIC was doing that also, was having the sisters wash the brothers' feet. He was actively combining Jewish rituals with custom beliefs and rituals derived from African-American Christianity and conjuring, which is hoodoo. Hoodoo, if those of you guys don't know what hoodoo is. Hoodoo is the African-American spirituality where they use the Bible along with indigenous Indian and African sorcery, witchcraft, you could say, I guess, for lack of a better way of putting it. The beautiful chanting of Hebrew and the observance of dietary laws and swaying motions of prayer were some of the most powerful performances and through which African Americans became Israelites. Yet beneath the public transcript of Jewish ritual and Matthew's sermon lies a hidden transcript that gets closer to the core of Matthew's faith. Somebody just came in. Hold on, what's that? See here? Hey, Nagy. Like I said, I need you on this one.
Oh yeah, this is something I definitely know something about. So yeah,
and you right on time for the juicy
part.
So
is this the Jewish synagogue? This is one of the Jewish synagogues that inspired the camps, right?
It's the commandment keeper.
Oh yeah, I've heard of these guys for sure.
Right now, they all they did was took a big collage of all these different faiths, and that nigga put them shits together and made a religion out of it, a false religion. Made a false religion out of it. And as we can see here, his first Passover was with, he had 6 European Jews at the Passover. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. And to think his predecessors, his predecessors would definitely go against that.
Yep.
That's just wild. But yeah, you mentioned hoodoo, and that is some crazy stuff. I've read about that too. You know, that's
but the hoodoo is not used. African deities like in voodoo, like the Orishas and stuff aren't used in hoodoo. It's they use the scripture. They use the Bible, a lot of Psalms.
Yeah, I definitely knew that. One of the things it's rooted in is interesting. It's something I have yet to talk about on my channel, and I definitely want to. But it's the Protestantism, right?
Right.
The weird thing is the roots of that almost point to occultism as well. So if you have people who are into that who also practice hoodoo, that is almost a perfect blend. So this Jewish sect or whatever, they're doing almost the same thing.
Yeah. Oh. And look at this. This is the good part here. I ain't got too much time there. I want to whiz through this. And I want you to speak on this a little. Right on time. Kabbalistic science and the hidden theology of Black Judaism. Harvard's Black Judaism is part of Black nationalist search for economic and cultural self-sufficiency championed in the interwar period of Jamaican-born organizer Marcus Garvey. Garvey's mixture of race pride, Black nationalism, and messiahism inspired thousands of Black men and women who were open to alternatives to conventional Black Christianity. The United Negro Improvement Association, New York City headquarters, Liberty Hall, became a place where small groups of people who were interested in Black Israelism met, held lectures, and shared ideas. It was through the UNIA that Matt met his mentor, Arnold Ford, and others interested in Judaism and esoteric religions. Anthropologist Ruth Lance concluded that Garveyite nationalism was the essential matrix of Black Judaism in Harlem, and Matthew's followers compared him to Booker T. Washington Garvey, and the brilliant West Indian orators with Hubert Harrison. In the late 1920s, Matthews preached to passers-by from a stepladder in the tradition of Harlem street speeches. One member of the Commandment Keepers remembered, "It was 1927 when I first saw Rabbi Matthews on Lenox Avenue. He was standing on a ladder with a yarmulke on, and he was speaking to a crowd of people. He was preaching that we are not Christians, as they had told us, but we were the lost house of Israel."
You're kind of breaking up, but I'm hearing what you're saying. It's just at certain times I can't hear you.
Oh damn! All right, let me try that.
Yeah, so this guy was teaching that the Black people are actually the children of Israel, which back then nobody was doing really. It was like a new thing.
What's up? We got Orange Box sneakers.
Oh, cool.
In here. He cool dude and stuff. I haven't seen him.
Yeah,
what's going on, bro? You hear me? You can still hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah, there's no breaks now, at least not yet.
Okay. All right, cool. So we can get into this thing. All right, where am I? Yeah, I don't know if you saw in the beginning, Rabbi Matthews was telling people that he can make himself invisible. And the nigga had references. He had a witness. One of the people in the
I didn't catch that, but you know what's so weird about that? You know why that's so weird to me?
Why?
Because one other person actually made a similar claim. Only I don't think it was true in his case. The guy was Aleister Crowley. He claimed he could make himself invisible. And I think what he did is people were just not wanting to look at him because he was acting so weird, which is what I think really happened. He was just acting weird in a hotel lobby. That's just funny. I can't believe they both claimed they could turn themselves invisible. Birds of a feather, I guess, but you know.
Says after 1930, Rabbi Matthew changed his practice to be closer to normative Judaism, but he also retained esoteric religious practices that were holdovers from the era of the Black mystics, who how you say that word? Holistic. Around the
holistic, I think it is.
Okay. God dang, missed my spot. Oh, okay. Around the Marcus Garvey movement in the 1920s. One of the most important of these was a Garveyite named Bishop John Hickerson, who also went by the name of Reverend Saint Bishop Divine and Bishop Eshoff Bendo. Before coming to Harlem, Hickerson had lived and collaborated with George Baker, the future Father Divine, in Baltimore. There they adopted a new thought-based doctrine that God dwelled inside the individual. New Thought was a philosophy of positive thinking that had developed in the 19th century New England, in which taught, according to Jill Watts, that God existed in all people, that the channeling of God's spirit eradicated problems and that unity with God guaranteed salvation. This is going to get real familiar for us, Nate. In 1914, Henderson founded the Church of the Living God, the pillar and ground of the truth in Harlem, identified himself as an Ethiopian, and taught a variation of New Thought. One of his chants was God in you, God in me. God, you God, I God. Everybody be God. Henderson's students showed a familiar pattern of New Thought beliefs. Elder Warren Robertson founded a Black Israelite group in Harlem in 1970 called the Ever Live and Never Die Society, or simpler, the Black Jews. Henderson claimed that he had taught Hebrew to Arnold Isaiah Ford, and that Ford had been taught and Ford had then taught Matthew everything he knows about Hebrew. So wait a minute, we thought that Rabbi Matthews came from Africa and he was a philosopher. What happened? Now we got this nigga teaching him. The fact that Matthew picked the same long compound name for his church also indicates his debt to the New Thought Israelite lineage that ran through Hickerson. The association between Judaism and New Thought that Hickerson helped to establish can be seen in the most famous associate, Father Divine. Y'all don't know who Father Divine is? Look him up. Whose reputedly Jewish doctrine was simply God is within man. In some, Hickerson helped to spread the New Thought idea that God dwelled inside charismatic leaders and their followers, a concept that was at the heart of the Jewish, Hebrew, or Black Israelite belief of his followers and associates, both famous and obscure. So these niggas going around thinking God is with them, God is inside of them, they're Elijah and all this other shit, right? This Black Israelite New Thought theology was based on the works of French-American author and publisher William Lawrence, who made his name by translating and publishing magical works from around the Oriental world. His books have been widely circulated and remain highly respected among practitioners of African Atlantic religions such as Santeria and Voodoo. He telling you these putting spells on your ass. The Lawrence works played critical roles in the genesis of 20th century alternative African American religions such as the Moorish Science Temple, Black Islam, Rabbi Matthews, Black Judaism, and Leonard Howell's Rastafari. That's the name I was trying to think of that day, Rastafari, Leonard Howell. The central theme of the Lawrence's introduction and glosses like a central theme in the beliefs of Bishop Hickerson, Father Divine, and Rabbi Matthew is a New Thought concept and the immanence of God. The Lawrence favored biblical quotations such as, "The kingdom of God is within you. You are the temple of the living God. The Father is in me, I in him, and we in you." All of which are strikingly similar to Father Divine's slogans and the teaching of the esoteric religious practitioners who studied the Lawrence's books. Rabbi Matthew used the Lawrence's writings to create magical rituals and a Hebraic creed that allowed him to be filled with God's spirit. Matthew based what he calls his Kabbalistic science on the most popular of the Lawrence's books, the 6th and 7th book of Moses. Now, who have we said got spotted with that 6th and 7th book of Moses?
What wasn't it that guy, the one dude?
Yeah, not Zora. We gotta get the name right. Not Zora.
Yeah.
Caught and been caught. The manual of magic that claims to divulge the Kabbalistic secrets of the ancient Hebrews. The work purports to be a collection of an ancient Hebraic sacred texts, diagrams, incantation, and prayers attributed to Moses and other biblical patriarchs. And in between, long glosses are written by Lawrence includes instructions on the effective uses of the Psalms. The Lawrence's edition of the text appeared throughout African and Afro-Atlantic world and was banned as subversive by many colonial and post-colonial governments. According to the scholar Patrick Pope, the 6th and 7th book of Moses, acceptance in the African diaspora is due in part to the prestige of Moses within Afro-Atlantic spiritual traditions. as well as the suspicion that whites have not shared the whole Bible, but have hidden most powerful portions for their own use. The fixation with Moses.
Can I say something real quick? I've actually sat down and read this book. When I realized that Judah was reading it, I had to read it myself. And you know what it sounds like? It sounds like a Catholic text.
Uh-oh.
Like, I'm not joking. There are parts that are actually written in Latin, but the book claims it was written by a Hebrew and transmitted to a fellow believer, but they invoke Jesus in it. Now, does that make any sense? Am I the only one who thinks that sounds absolute lunacy? And they make reference to Hebrews who accepted Jesus.
Yep. This stuff is crazy. Orange box, you dip. Come on back in here if you want. I ain't hear you say nothing.
Yeah, that whole book is weird, but I won't bore you because it has all these spells in it. Yep. And they're all meant to do different. Yeah. Spells and conjurations.
The fixation of Moses in the occult world was reinforced from several sources. On one hand, the occult in general, the ritual magic specifically contained a strong strain of Jewish Kabbalah. On the other hand, the occult also drew from the Neo-Platoism and Hermeticism that influenced the Renaissance. Influenced Renaissance Europe so strongly, and Moses became identified with Hermes Trismegistus.
Yeah, the legendary. You almost had it. It was Hermes Trismegistus, which means thrice great.
Say that again.
It's Hermes Trismegistus, thrice great Hermes.
Yep. Okay. By the ancient Egyptian mysticism known as the Hermetica. Matthew's personal papers in the Scrollenberg Library in New York include 2 emblems of geometric designs, and the Hebrew words borrow in part from the 6 and 7 Book of Moses. These emblems offer an unparalleled view into the hidden transcripts and the private settings where Rabbi Matthew performed the most secret transformative rituals at the hidden heart of Black Israelism. The square omelet in Matthew's personal papers was modified from the second table of the figure of the spirits of fire, found on page 16 of the 6 and 7 Book of Moses. What makes the derivation of Matthew's diagram from the Lawrence diagram indisputable is the fact that the Lawrence had reproduced a calligraphic error in the Hebrew that Matthew has repeated. The word at the bottom, hakoach, meaning the power, had been miswritten. An errant vertical line closes the gap. That's the diagram there. Closes the gap, the middle letter, kaf, making it look like the uppercase D. In fact, there is no Hebrew letter with that shape. But in Matthew's diagram of the diagonals, and Matthew has repeated the same mistake in the letter kaf, demonstrating that he used the Lawrence's text as a source for his Kabbalistic science. Caught. 2 emblems shed light on Matthew's esoteric theology, partly a secret knowledge at the heart of his Black Israelite belief. Matthew writes several phrases in fractured Hebrew on the diagram. The top one, in which can be translated, "Rise and give me good luck." Just below the median line, the Hebrew can be translated, "Within the 8th fire, you should give me life." And the bottom line may read either, "The 8th God should be my father," or "The 8th God, my father." At a simplest level, this diagram appears to be a good luck charm. But at a higher level, his omelet amplifies and expands on Matthew's theology. In later decades, Matthew taught that there were 7 spirits or elements of God. Wait, whoa. Wasn't it? Remember the 7? Remember they called themselves the 7? In One West, they had the 7. Johanna was one of the 7.
Oh yeah, I do. I remember that.
Those are like the generals that were over the school. They're called the seven.
Yeah, the original school, One West. Yeah.
Yep. Or elements of God in 12 heavens, which his daughter tongue twister, explicated in the Congregational newspaper in 1965. Do you know how few of us, the Black Jews, know that God is wind, water, fire, life, light, power, and mind? This is God in 7 elements. Each one of these elements are all gods among themselves. But the creator of these, the one ruler of these, is the one and only. He is God. He is in us, out of us, and is all about us. And without him, we wouldn't exist. Without any one of these gods, we would not exist.
So
Given that Matthew believed,
this sounds kind of like pantheism, like they're pushing some kind of pantheistic idea on people.
Mm-hmm. Given that Matthew believed in 7 elements of God, this diagram appears to have been used to worship and invoke the power and presence of the supreme creator God. An 8th God who appears through the medium of fire, the repetition of the number 8, the image of fire, and the personal filial relationship with God are noteworthy. Again, the amulet can be translated, rise and give me good luck. Within the 8th fire, you should give me life. The 8th God, my Father, remembering that Matthew began in the sanctified church. He may have borrowed this fiery conception of God from the common fire baptized, holiness Pentecostal conception of God. The multiple God elements in his theology, however, is what makes Matthew's creed most like the religions of the Black Atlantic.
Oh, you know what I just thought of? I just thought of something crazy. Have you heard, I've mentioned the Yazidi before, right?
Yeah. We did the show.
Well, the Yazidi believed that there were 7 angels, whose leader was the peacock angel, or he had a name, Malik Taus, and that sounds almost like that. And it also sounds like henotheism, which is the idea that there is one God and many others under him. Kind of weird if you ask me.
Yep.
The Hebrews did believe in something like that, though, so it's not too crazy. It's just not the monotheism of the Torah.
Right. All right. Moreover, the ritual use of these diagrams seem to allow Matthew to be filled with the presence of God and to relate to the creator God as the Son relates to the Father. The second round argument repeats and amplifies the sense of God's immanence and Matthew's own power. The diagram consists of several Hebrew sentences printed over Magen David, literally a shield of David, or 6-pointed star, which is common Kabbalistic referent. After some indecipherable words in the beginning of the prayer, the sentence continues. This diagram right here. Now, these could all be found in that library. Y'all can go to New York. Y'all can see his writings yourself. If God, come to me in the flood. The words overlaid on top of the Magen David itself can be translated. The name of God is in me. The Lord, my God, exalted Lord God is in me. My God who will see me, my Father God. In this second argument, Matthew emphasizes and underlines the immanence of God. After asking God to enter him in a flood, he triumphantly proclaims, the name of God is in me. What is specifically notable here is not just the idea that God is inside. You know where that's from right there. That's from the 7th book of Moses. Y'all can get that book, the 6th and 7th book of Moses. And
I'm not going to tell people not to read that book, but I'm going to say it's a very weird book if you do read it.
And y'all can fuck around and try to do some shit or whatever, and your ass get bugged out and crazy. Don't go looking over here at this old killer bee. You got old Siberian. the problems for a fee.
Yeah, because
We do got help.
some people read stuff like that and they go nuts. Like there's another book that's just as bad in my opinion. It's the Book of Abramelin the Mage, and it's that's another crazy book that basically can drive people nuts. Be careful.
Yep. Go crazy. Don't complain to me. I don't want to hear nothing. I'm just gonna hand you my cash out and shit. We get old Siberius on it to help you out. So don't go complain to me and shit, right? The Kabbalistic diagram that Matthew based in part on the publication of the Lawrence seemed to have provided a ritual blueprint for the embodiment of divine power in a manner consistent with the reputedly Jewish New Thought-based practice of Bishop Henderson and some of the other religious varieties in the interwar era. The Kabbalistic science that could make one disappear or make God appear inside oneself was a form of both spiritual and temporal power that was particularly attractive to Matthew and mainly poor black people who followed him and his peers. You see that? Just like that old Temple Man bullshit. You're wanting to learn about it, and you're attracted to it. You want to know more and more, and the nigga ain't gonna tell you shit, right? Nigga ain't gonna tell you shit. They just be fucking putting fucking spells on your motherfucking ass and shit.
No,
right?
they just hold back the information because they're like, yeah, this would blow people's minds, and then you go, well, I think I could take it, and they go, nah, they don't give it to you, they hold it.
Yep. They're like, nah, it's too deep. You're not ready yet.
Stupid. It's dumb.
Yep. Matthew's religious practice was far more complex and far more interesting than a picture of Orthodox Jewish conformity that he presented to the world in the later years of his life. Rather, hidden transcripts demonstrate that Matthew used personal networks and print culture to invent a polycultural religion drawn on such elements as the New Thought, Pentecostalism, Caribbean pageantry, and Kabbalah. Now, for y'all that think I'm lying, you can still go to, I think it's called blackjews.org, and they have Kabbalah lessons on there. They have a video. It's on, if you go to my most popular videos, you'll see the Masonic origins of the Hebrew Israelites video. In that, I show you in there where they practice Kabbalah. They teach Kabbalah, right? So that website is for the people that were under Rabbi Matthews before Abba Bivens came and changed the whole shit around, right? And there's still remnants of Rabbi Matthew, a congregation. They have another congregation. It looks just like a regular Christian church, but it's under that old Hebrew shit. I'm actually, to tell y'all something, and share something with y'all, I'm actually related to one of the people that one of the high rabbis or whatever you could call them, chief rabbis or whatever within that organization. I'm related to him. Also, it's to say his name is Fournier, something Fournier or whatever. He's also, which I'm related to Michelle Obama also. I'm actually, I found that out recently. Like I'm pretty like close related, like not like that.
Well, that's kind of interesting close. In a way. I don't know if I'd want to be related to either one of those people, but that's kind of cool. I mean, I don't know.
The Fournier dude is from Africa, so I guess there's some kind of like inner marriage thing. But Michelle Obama is related to Fournier. Oh, so it's like her uncle or something like that. And they're all from South Carolina and stuff. You know, kind of crazy. So conclusion here. I ain't gonna read all that shit. I was gonna stop this shit right here. I don't know if I'm gonna share this motherfucking movie. I don't know if I can share it. I don't know. I might share it on some other thing. I might do another video. I'll share it tonight. I might share the rest of the shit tonight. So because I'm running out of time. But yeah, thank you for coming on here, Neggy. But as we can see here, I think my shit fucked up.
Oh yeah, no, right, no problem.
started speaking in tongues. All they missing is the little Indian girl started speaking in tongues.
Yeah. I mentioned
Bishops,
a movie called Apocalypto that was made by
Mason.
it was made by Mel Gibson, and it had a little girl with some disease, and she's just predicting the deaths of all the guys there standing around.
Yeah.
It was kind of a freaky movie because essentially they all get sacrificed.
Are you familiar with empath? I've been seeing a lot of that lately. And an empath is somebody that thinks they can feel the emotions or the pain or whatever other people or something. Is that what that is?
What is it?
Like an empath? Isn't that somebody that claims
a person who can feel people's emotions on a like psychic level. Yeah, I heard of that.
I've been coming across a lot of people that have been claiming that bullshit. I don't know. This shit crazy.
The funny thing is, I think people like try to mythologize things like that because they want to feel like they have something special about them. That kind of thing leads people to become cult leaders.
Yep. Exactly. That's exactly my thought. Because you ask them stuff and they can't explain none of this stuff, or like say for I don't know, I'll make another show about that shit. I'll make another show. I don't want to get off the track here. But as y'all see here,
what it goes back to is it goes back to the need to be special, which is what some of these cult leaders have. They want to be special and unique and noticed by people. Right. Some people just have to be normal people. I mean, it's not good to want to be always special.
Right. Yeah, being special comes a lot of responsibility.
Yeah, you actually got to measure up to what you're trying to be. You can't just fake it. Like Jim Jones faked it for years.
Yep. And that's what these people like. What I read today, it got that PDF got all the sources on it too, where they got all that information. And a lot of this stuff is right here in that library in New York City. You can go look at these manuscripts yourself. The writings of that man, the things that man wrote himself. So now you Hebrew Israelites are talking about the white man and all this fucking bullshit, right? You see who helped that man. He was getting funded from the white man. The white man with the white Jews was funding him. And then the nigga was a nut case and shit. You know, the white people was like, oh shit, they embrace our culture. Like, know what I'm saying? They probably was kind of like pumped on it. They're like, all right, we'll teach you how to do it.
Yeah, and we all know how that went. What happened is it went from they're learning from us to, oh, all of a sudden they want to be the ones in charge.
There you go.
That's the funny thing. That's the really funny thing, how the student automatically forgets that he's a student.
Yep.
Wants to be the teacher.
Yep. They want to take over.
So that's when you get these associations of black rabbis who thought now they can give other people that rabbi state, they can ordain them.
Because they was probably like, nah, you can't become a rabbi. Like, you can follow this shit and everything, but like, yeah, we can't make you a rabbi. And then they probably got butthurt.
Of course. And you know what word they scream to the heavens?
Yep.
Racism. We got these racist Jews.
Yep. That shit is crazy, yo. So like, this shit crazy though. Like, now this is even deeper. Myron that was in the chat. Myron said he read that shit 3 years ago. Like, I only heard about the witchcraft shit, like the Grimoires and all that bullshit. I didn't learn about that. I learned that from the SOT news, because they did a video and they said that I think it was Aria or Masha, one of them. I think it was Aria, dropped his wallet, lost his wallet in the school.
Oh, I've heard the story of what happened. What happened is there was a phone. They had like a phone booth.
Yep.
In the school, and what happened is he was on the phone at one time, and he left it on top. He left his little manual. He left his wallet on top of the phone.
Yep.
Someone found it, and they opened it up to see whose it was. And what happened is they found this book of like hand signs or whatever. And you hear about this from Judah, but he's using it to just smear all of One West.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to admit that he's got even darker things on him, but yeah.
Dark.
Yeah, but the thing is, they found a manual of magical hand signs or something like that.
Yep. And like he even mentioned like the Grimoires. There were Grimoires in there and shit too.
Yeah, Grimoire is a book. It's like a what do you call it? A genre of literature.
Yeah.
But what it is, it's like magical diagrams and words that you're supposed to say out loud while standing in like different circles and stuff. And it's really not good stuff either, because this is also what can drive people nuts.
Yep.
Go figure.
But now all these Hebrew Israelite nuts, they gotta explain all of this, because they speak against witchcraft, they speak against Kabbalah, anything that's Jewish, they speak against all that stuff. But we find here that their founders, now it mentioned Ford up in here, it mentioned Rabbi Wentworth, it mentioned who's the other nigga? There was another nigga, Cherry, I believe it mentioned in there. Now I done did some of the research on that. I ain't even dig any farther. I can go farther now, but they're gonna have to fess up, because all the things that they speak against now founded their organization.
And you just know you're not going to hear a peep about this.
No, you won't. You, like I said earlier, the camp leaders never come out. They never come out and speak. It's only the cult flunkies that run around and do all the dirty work.
And you know, I'm gonna go in a minute, but you know, there's a reason I want to talk about the Protestant church groups in a video on my channel, and that's because the camps have a connection to them.
Yeah.
So obviously there is something there that needs to be talked about, and I'm going to. But yeah, I just wanted to say what's up. Take care, Akilla. I'll be around. So yeah,
right,
till next time.
Yep. So yeah, what y'all gonna do? I see 9 of y'all up in here, and I know at least half of y'all Israelites. What y'all got to say for yourself? Huh? Y'all talk about masonry and all that shit. All y'all shit come from this. Come from voodoo, masonry, hermeticism, all that shit. So what is y'all believing? Your whole doctrine comes from these people. Yup, the cricket national anthem. That's right. The cricket national anthem. Where y'all at? I had an old girl, I gave her the link. Where's she at? I bet they won't hit that damn link. I gotta go anyway, but I'll be on tonight. Finishing up on that nigga that killed Martin Luther King Jr.'s mother. The Hebrew Israelite that killed Martin Luther King Jr.'s mother. That y'all all sticking up for. That y'all making excuses for. You can't believe the New York Times. But I got other newspapers that said, I got the man he learned from saying he taught him. So now what? The words from the man saying he taught the truth. What y'all call this bullshit? Y'all call it the truth. Now you see where the truth comes from. Said, not me. I know Hebrew foolites. Right already. You here for what? You ain't the Most High chosen. One thing you ain't doing the Most High's work, nigga. The fuck is you talking about? You ain't doing the Most High's work. So how are you the Most High chosen? You're following something false. And y'all sit here and listen to me and not listen to me and sit there and just ignore all that shit. There's the link, nigga. I bet you won't hit that motherfucking link. I guarantee you won't hit the link. Hit the link, nigga. Hit the link. Hit the link, nigga. I got a few more minutes. I'll make a few more minutes. Hit the link, nigga. Hit the link. Get ready for slavery. Yeah, right. It's gonna be your ass, motherfucker. You be dead long and gone before any of that happens. Trust me. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. They can't handle the truth. Look, I'm giving you time. I put the link in the chat. You ain't hit that link yet, nigga. Why? Exactly. Fuck boy. You ain't shit. Tell him, nigga. Fuck boy, you ain't shit. Then you need to make a rap song and shit called Fuck Boy, You Ain't Shit. That could be your first rap song, nigga. Fuck boy, you ain't shit. Yeah, exactly, nigga. Now shut the fuck up. Get the fuck up out of here. I gotta go. I got shit to do, nigga. I'll be back to whip on y'all niggas' asses tonight. So with that, everything said, I'm the soldier of darkness, Killer B, the goddamn witchfinder general. You got a witch, I'll burn your motherfucking asses up. Thank you, Nigga Springfield. Thanks, Orange Box Sneakers, Myron, Rennie Ran, the Cozy. Who else is up in this joint? Somebody else is up in this joint. And all y'all and shit. Just ran the first diss track on the Black Hebrew Israelites Jizz Rags. Oh shit. Oh shit, man. Oh shit. All right, niggas. I'm up out of here. I'll be back to whip all these niggas' asses later, though. Peace. Got a witch, I'll burn them up. Later, y'all. Yeah, right? We're gonna walk around. Yo, this woman trying to tell me today, those are our cultural garments. So I was like, bitch, what the fuck are you talking about? I said, I don't know about debating when the leadership walks around the big Hebrew Israelite get up. She tried to say that's our motherfucking cultural garments. Show me a motherfucking artifact when y'all niggas dress like that. Oh, I forgot. There is no Hebrew Israelite artifacts. Oh, I forgot. Hey, you can say what you want, but you won't come up here and defend yourself. You just sit in the chat like a little bitch. So with that, I'm up out of here. Peace. Exactly, Ready Red. Exactly. They can't do nothing. And you come up out here, all you're going to hear bling, bling, bling in the background with them texting the cult leader and shit. Trying to figure out what to say to me. How the hell to me, you bitch ass niggas. I'm the soldier of darkness.